You up to?
Just hanging out.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Is that your vehicle over there?
The
white one.
White one?
Correct.
Yeah, that's one of our squad cars.
Okay. Let's go take a look at it real quick. There's a couple problems with 169.98 Minnesota statute. They need to be identified as law enforcement vehicles depicting which department it is.
Sure.
Now, does that have blue and to the front?
Well, I would think you would need to talk to our administration about that.
Okay, but I'm asking you a question right now. Does that have blue to the front?
I don't deal with squads.
Okay.
I just drive them.
Okay. Do you have a business card on you, sir?
I certainly do.
What's your name and badge number?
It's Officer Croder, and the badge number is 173.
Okay. I'm gonna check and see if the state requires that all law enforcement vehicles are marked, because I think they do. Let me check. Hello.
What are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I can't hear you.
I said I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, good.
What are you up to?
Just hanging out.
Okay.
I have a question for you. Is that your vehicle over there?
The
white one.
White one?
Correct.
Yeah, that's one of our squad cars.
Okay. Let's go take a look at it real quick. There's a couple problems with 169.98 Minnesota statute. They need to be identified as law enforcement vehicles depicting which department it is.
Sure.
Now, does that have blue and to the front?
Well, I would think you would need to talk to our administration about that.
Okay, but I'm asking you a question right now. Does that have blue to the front?
I don't deal with squads.
Okay.
I just drive them.
Okay. Do you have a business card on you, sir?
I certainly do.
What's your name and badge number?
It's Officer Croder, and the badge number is 173.
Okay. Can I grab one of your business cards, please?
Absolutely. What was your name?
I didn't give it.
Okay. I didn't say that you didn't.
I
was
know.
just wondering what was your name.
I'm not going to give that to you right
Okay.
now.
Sounds good. Well, you have a wonderful evening then.
You too. I'm just going to be finishing doing my investigation around here.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Here's another one. Uh-oh. Not good. We've got too many vehicles, and we also have possibly a tint problem. So 447 WBM. That's going to be another issue. Lights to the front. We have grill lights as well. I can't see any grill lights. Oh, here's another light right here and the headlight. So that's going to be a problem. Again, the vehicle is not marked in any way, shape, or form, just besides emergency lights. It has a regular civilian license plate on it, so therefore whoever runs this vehicle could pull over an unsuspecting person and potentially not be acting in an official capacity, but rather for their own agenda. that is a problem. So now we're gonna go through every vehicle in this parking lot and see just how many violations we have with this department. This is a major concern for civilians. Oh, we have another one right here. Same situation. We have a light right there. We have lights to the front. With no identification or markings of any sort or kind. That is going to be a problem. Okay. Yeah, and I don't know if you can see it in there, but it looks to me like there is a bubble right here. There's another light. So we've got 3 vehicles thus far.
Okay, she is back at her desk now, so we will transfer you back to her just a moment.
Okay, thanks so much.
Mm-hmm. Hello, this is Captain McTour.
Hey, Captain. I'm just curious, how do you spell your name?
L-A, capital T-O-U-R.
Okay, perfect. So the reason for my call, I was actually, can you hear me okay?
It's a little scratchy, but it's so far so good.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
So the reason for my call, I was actually out at your department a couple of days ago and noticed some things that I'm not sure are quite acceptable based off of my research in regarding Minnesota statutes. So I wanted to cover those with you and maybe get some dialogue going regarding that. In particular, you have 3 squad cars, 1 white SUV, and then two sedans that are Dodges that are unmarked completely, with no tagging of any sort. In accordance with Minnesota Statute 169.98, that surrounds police, patrol, or security guard vehicles. And it does discuss this in great depth, that even if it's unmarked in a certain aspect, there has to be some sort of emblem, either a shield or stating that it is a police department or something. It has to state something on at least the driver front door. Are you aware of that statute?
I don't, well, I mean, I don't have it memorized. I have to pull it up and read it.
Sure, I'll wait.
I am. You want me to do that right now?
Sure, that would be just easier, I think, so that way we can talk with that in mind.
And what squads are you talking about?
I can actually email you after this and send you the photos and video that I took.
Okay. So some of our vehicles that we have out there are not marked police cars.
Correct, yes.
Because they're not used in that capacity.
Okay, so why would they have lights to the front and embedded in the headlight as well, if that's the case?
Because they're retired or they're pulled out of service, and they're just disconnected. They don't have any emergency lights still able to be used.
Okay, so
So, for instance, like we use it for training or driving to the range. So I think are you talking about the white Suburban?
that's one of the vehicles in question, correct?
Yeah, so that one specifically.
Okay.
Does not have any lights or sirens. We'd have to pay labor and stuff to have those removed.
Mm-hmm.
So we just decommission it and take all that stuff out of service, and it's not used. It doesn't have those lights or sirens, and it's not used in that capacity.
Okay, and for the Dodges, is that the same case?
So which, that's I said, I don't know which vehicles you're talking about.
Sure. There's two Dodges. Let me see if I can find a picture of the license plate from the video. Give me 1 second.
And I would be more colors. Do they have they don't have police plates on them, correct?
They do not have police plates. No.
Okay.
So one of them is like a dark blue. And then another one is like a darker gray. And the darker gray, actually, that one also. Did you say that the dark gray one are both of those vehicles used in the same capacity as the white Suburban?
Yes, those are just training cars.
Training cars. What do you guys do with those training cars?
So if an officer is attending training out of the city,
Uh-huh.
they're allowed to take those.
Okay. And then you said that those lights and all that stuff that's in those vehicles is completely disconnected?
For the Suburban, I know. On those, I'm not sure. But so we're are allowed to have a certain percentage of unmarked vehicles for, like our investigators drive.
Sure.
Unmarked cars.
So you.
And their primary responsibility can't be traffic enforcement and those kinds of things.
Sure.
So that they fall under that exception.
Okay, and so yeah, it uses fewer than the statute in subdivision 2 alpha would state that it's less than 11, which I know you guys are in compliance with that, so that's not a big deal. And so I'm just kind of curious as I read through this, you're not using those in traffic at all?
Nope.
Okay, and do you have paperwork to support that information?
I don't know what you're looking for.
Paperwork regarding, for example, the Suburban with that being disconnected, the lights being disconnected, you would have some form of paperwork that would state that work. And
when we submit that to the like to get those plates on there, I submit a letter to the Department of Motor Vehicles saying what the status is and what it's used for.
Yeah, you've retained a copy of that too, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so I could just do a FOIA request to make sure that that's all in the up and up?
You'd have to fill out the data practice request. It's
Okay.
either online or you can do it in person.
Okay, and then those two Dodges.
Well, as I said, I mean, you have to be specific on what you're looking for because it's not like we don't have a.
Well, honestly, what I'd probably do is just request all vehicle data surrounding that specific vehicle within the past year, 365 days.
Okay.
But moving towards those two Dodges. Now, you said those vehicles were for training,
Yep.
but then you also said that they fall under the statute regarding just having those for investigators. So are they kind of a multi-use?
No. So they were assigned to our investigators. They were decommissioned for that purpose, and we kept them for training. As we get bigger, it's more efficient for us to keep those training than to pay officers mileage to use their personal cars.
Sure. No, that makes sense. And so when an officer's on their way to training, for example, let's just say Camp Ripley or something like that. I'm sure you guys maybe occasionally attend that location. Do those officers go there in uniform?
I wouldn't know. It would depend on if they are. So let's say we have a one-day training coming up.
Sure.
They would probably go in their training uniforms.
Okay.
Either SWAT, Mobile Field Force, or if they were going up there for a week, they would probably not be.
Okay. And when they're driving that vehicle, are they on duty the entire time while operating that vehicle?
Correct.
Okay. And there's paperwork that would support that?
Again, I don't know what you're looking for. You'd have to be.
Well, specifically what I'm asking is, while driving that vehicle, would they be operating an official capacity for the police department while on duty, is what I'm asking. Or would they be just driving to training and obviously not having to worry about? I mean, is this for what I'm trying to get at? Is this for the department to obviously say and to save the taxpayers as well, expenses of paying the 54 or whatever it is cents per mile, so they don't have to take their personal vehicles. So you don't obviously then you wouldn't have to use tax dollars to pay an excess in terms of fees to that employee.
Yeah, so I guess I'm not understanding exactly what you're asking.
What I'm asking is if I were an officer in your department and I were to be assigned to go to training up at Camp Ripley, just for an example, not saying that that's where you guys go, but if I were to go up there, and I would be assigned a vehicle to take up there, so I don't have to use my personal vehicle, which I understand the reasoning behind that, but what I'm asking is, if I were to do that, and let's just say I was going to go up there for a couple of days, am I officially clocked in when I leave the building, and in the whole entire time that I'm in possession and driving that vehicle, is what I'm asking you.
So you're asking, would they be getting compensated for the time that they left to the time that they reached their destination?
Well, more so specifically, if I'm driving up there, right, and I'm on duty, and I see something and I have to deal with it, then I would do so. But if I'm not on duty and I'm driving up there, then I would just travel straight there and obviously just call in like any other normal person on the roadway. Do you understand the comparison there? Am I on duty if I'm driving up there in that vehicle, or am I off duty on my way to a training event driving up there?
So they're not in their jurisdiction. So that's what I'm trying to get. They're not.
True.
They're not out there enforcing
True.
traffic laws or anything like that because they're not in their jurisdiction. At that point, they become a witness. If they had to call in and let somebody know that there was a violation or something that rose to that.
Fair enough.
But they are getting compensated.
Okay.
That's what my confusion is. I don't understand what you're.
Well, what I'm asking.
Our expectation would be is that they obey all traffic laws and drive to the destination. They're not out there actively enforcing or seeking out contacts, stopping violators, anything like that, because they're outside of their jurisdiction. That's not the purpose.
Okay, that's kind of what I'm asking. I'm basically asking is if they were driving up in that vehicle, would it be assumed to be the same exact execution as if they were driving up in their own personal vehicle?
And I don't know what you're looking for here.
Well, I'm just asking questions because I want to make sure that I understand how the vehicles are being used and if it is in accordance with that Minnesota statute that we've kind of already alluded to, which is that 169.98.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know how else I can explain that. Unless you want to give me a list of written questions, I can certainly do that.
Well, I think I've just been asking the questions, and I don't think that they're.
Sure, I know you've been asking the question, but I've explained them as best I can. And as I said, if you want further explanation, I would encourage you to. You have my email; it's right on the website. You can send me the video, and then we can discuss something as far as the use of those things. I can respond to you in writing.
Okay. Well, I mean, just like when you guys are conducting your investigation, I'm just initially just checking things out and trying to get a good understanding, and that's all.
I'm not trying to be, and I'm not trying to be, what I'm feeling like is I felt like I've answered that, and then you keep asking. That's what my frustration is. So if you just give me a question in writing, I'll surely be more than happy to respond to you back with a written explanation.
Sure. I guess the long and the short of it is just, are they on duty when they're driving up or not? That's all my question is.
Yeah, they're considered on duty, getting paid.
Okay.
For
cool.
that, but they're not expected to,
Yeah, I know they shouldn't be. They're out of their jurisdiction. I get all that makes sense, and that part, yes, you 100% answered that. So, under the statute here as labeled, what gives a police department the ability to have an unmarked squad car? And the reason that I'm taking this seriously is because my concern specifically is that a citizen could be pulled over, and it could be by someone impersonating a police officer, and so that concerns me because if the public is expecting a police vehicle to pull them over, but that could look like anything, then that creates an environment where they could then be, taken advantage of by somebody who's not a police officer. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure. And as I said, I think it's in society we have that balance. Do we have the need to be surveil or respond to things in an unmarked capacity? Yes. Do citizens have the right to be safe? Yes. But that's when we encourage citizens to double check, call. They can call 911. They can ask for credentials, all those things.
Okay, and then does your policy state that they have to show credentials or just give their name and badge number?
We give them name and badge number. We do business card if requested. Officers, have no problem showing proof of who they are.
Is there some sort of I guess I don't know how it works, but do they have
It depends. Obviously if you're in a marked Oakdale squad car with a marked uniform, you're in.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
That's different than if you're an investigator. Excuse me, an investigator showing up at somebody's house. Where those are the people that are much more inclined to show their credentials.
Sure. Okay. And what's your email address?
It's my first and last name. So my first name is spelled with an I-N. So it's Karen, Karin, Latour, Latour, at ci.oakdale.mn.us. And it's on the City of Oakdale website too.
Okay.
It's kind of long, I know.
Perfect. And one last question for you. Not that I have one, but if somebody were to desire to file a complaint with your department, do you have forms there that a citizen needs to fill out, or can they do that online?
Form here? No, you can do that online and then drop it off or mail it in.
Okay. And does that require the complainant providing their name and phone number and all those things, or is there a way to do that anonymously?
You could do it anonymously, but then it's how our department looks at it to do an official officer complaint.
Mm-hmm.
You need that form signed and identified. To do would consider a training issue, for example, somebody just calling in saying, I talked to a police officer, they just said this, or like a customer service complaint.
Sure.
Or maybe a training issue. We don't require that. So if we get a complaint that's not signed, that's how we would handle that, is internal, and look at that as that perspective.
Okay. Wonderful. You've been very helpful. I appreciate your time, and thank you for clarifying, because I just didn't, it was alarming to see these vehicles and thinking maybe they're doing traffic enforcement and then setting, the wrong precedent kind of thing. You can understand where I'm coming from.
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Well, Ms. Latour, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and if for some reason, obviously, anything ever comes up, I will definitely send you an email.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.